So this is practicing compassion. We start just by bringing some focus to our breath. And we can do this even before we close our eyes or get ourselves comfortable, whether we were wanting to sit or lie down. We're just bringing some attention to this sense of being, the aliveness that is you. And we're just letting the breath move naturally its own way without trying to change it. And just aware of the movement. And as you're closing your eyes, you're just shuffling yourself around and getting yourself most comfortable. And softening the shoulders and the jaw, softening the eyes. And just allowing yourself to relax as we bring our attention into the body. And we're just watching the movement, watching that change. Now maybe you're bringing your attention to one particular area, like the movement in the belly, right on the tip of the nose or the upper lip. And maybe you're able to watch the whole breath as it flows into and out of the body. Now the idea here is not to follow, but to watch. Like as if you're down at your favourite beach, just watching the waves roll in on the shore. You're just watching this movement into and out of the body. Without any effort. And throughout this practice, we're just going to let all thoughts and judgments and distractions just pass by, like as if they're clouds passing by the sky of the mind. The sky doesn't get upset, it just watches as these clouds come and go. It doesn't matter how big and dark and grey they are. The sky is there, and it knows it just eventually moves past. And we just let them pass without any judgment. There's no more important thought, less important thought. For this practice, they're just thoughts. And allow the breath just to connect us to our source. This breath is continually perpetuating movement of which we can just rest and watch. And the breath can just bring us close in, where we're just being, without the need for anything else. Just enjoying watching the movement. And remembering at any point where we feel distracted, just coming back to the breath again, over and over, as often as we can. No sense of failure. Doesn't matter how busy your mind is today. We just return without judgment or criticism. And we do that as often as we can. It's incredibly important to do that as many times as we can when we're noticing taken away and distraction. And if you just continue just to watch your breath as it moves and just listen a bit now to the guidance. Because as we begin to bring our attention to the people in our lives, we focus this practicing compassion on. It's not that others had the intention of benefiting us a lot of the time. Through this practice, we're just recognizing whether they did or they didn't realize what they did in their life was benefit to us. And it's important as we bring compassion in this way, the practice is to open our hearts towards them without any sort of overbearing feeling of lack because maybe you haven't helped them back, or any sort of obligation to now go out and help them, or any sort of sense of feeling of lack of self-worth. This practice is about receiving their kindness that others have extended to you in your life. For no other reason as you deserve to be happy as everyone else does. You deserve as much kindness as anyone else. And now what I'd ask you to do is just gently bring some attention to someone in your life that you know loves you unconditionally. Now, if there's more than one person here, that's fantastic, but in particular, just one. If you don't have a particular loved one right now, maybe you've had an animal or have an animal, or a tree or a car, that you know loves you unconditionally. And just bringing this person to mind. And remember, it doesn't need to be the perfect person, just importantly someone that loves you unconditionally, or something. It now becomes the contemplative part where we just begin to reflect on this wonderful person. So I'm going to ask you questions just for your own thoughts, like, why are these people so wonderful in your life? What kindness have you received from them? Why do they matter so much? Maybe they encouraged you when you were down or worried. Maybe they helped by making you aware of parts of you that you needed to reflect on. Maybe it's just the little things that they do to make you feel part of something. These people bring joy and love into our life. I want to see if you can open your heart and hold some of that kindness, some of that compassion that you receive from them, some of that love. And just holding some of that kindness in your heart. These people that love you unconditionally. Just bringing all this compassion, this kindness into your heart and let it shine. And let these loved ones open up your heart with compassion. Now you may feel something, maybe you don't feel anything. Maybe it's tough to think of someone or something, some actions, and that's okay. We just work with where we are right now. And if right now we're not feeling something, that's not failure, that's the information that you're needing. That maybe this is an area that you might need to bring some more attention to, in a hope that we can turn this bright light of compassion that's held in our heart towards those that love us. And now just letting go of these loved ones and just resting and watching the movement of our breath again. No need for control. The last thing we do together is just see if we can rest in this compassion towards all people. Rest our attention into our heart as we feel this compassion for everyone. No boundaries, no limits. And see how long we can just rest into this feeling without distraction. And as we begin to open up our eyes, the reason why we practice compassion is not so we can be compassionate on the cushion, but to bring this practice to life. And just seeing if you can do that throughout your day, just bringing some of that attention into the heart and guiding that compassion towards these people in our lives. And have a compassionate rest of your day.